outside for a minute. We've been talking to Jim O'Brien about some of the great spring photos that resulted in a butterfly garden. Now, Jim, you've got your own to work on out there.
Yeah, well, that's right, guys. In fact, Ellen Meyers Sharp joins us right now, our Hoosier Gardener, and we're talking about garden tours, which I'm getting brushed up on.
Yes,
I didn't realize there's places that you can actually go and check out other people's gardens, which is kind of cool. Of course, they're in bigger locations than just your next-door neighbor's garden.
No, they can be your next-door neighbor's.
Oh, they can?
Because they're, like Meridian Kessler is having a home and garden tour this weekend, and, you know, they're usually garden tours in lots of different neighborhoods, and you can find about them on websites. My website has them listed. But usually there's a small fee for attending the gardens. There may be as many as 3 to 10 gardens on a tour.
Okay.
And today we're just going to talk a little bit about the etiquette that's involved in that.
Okay.
And
I have to ask you, when you go on these tours and you're allowed there, is there actually like somebody who guides you through it to kind of tells you about different flowers and plants and maybe questions you might have, or is it just pretty much, okay, here it is, and
it can be both ways.
It can be both ways.
Yeah,
okay.
usually the homeowner is there, or what we call a docent or a guide is there, so that you can ask questions of.
Okay. Okay. Cool. All right. So what do we need? You have to get prepared when you're
right. We
out
know
there.
that most garden tours are, rain or shine.
Okay.
So if it's, like the last few days and there's been a tour, you might want to take an umbrella or rain gear with you.
Yeah.
It's always good to,
to
wear a hat to protect yourself from the sun, mosquito repellent, sunscreen, wear good shoes or shoes that can get muddy, because if it's muddy, a lot of times you're not going to be walking on pavement. You're going to be walking on mulch or gravel or something like that.
Okay.
So little strappy shoes probably aren't going to work for you, Jim.
Yeah, no. Flip-flops no good.
Right. You want to make sure you stay on the path. You want to make sure you don't step in garden beds. That compresses the soil and not good for plants.
Okay. And not good for just people in general who see you do it.
Right, yeah. So even if you're taking pictures, you're going to have to reach in to take the picture.
Okay.
And a lot of people do take pictures with their cameras or their phones.
All right, iPhones.
Of plant combinations, or maybe just a bed that they particularly like.
Okay.
Some gardens don't allow photos, and in which case you might want to make a sketch or make notes about the plant combinations that you really like. It's good not to congregate in the pathways, so that you don't impede other traffic coming
Don't
through.
hold up to traffic flow. Don't go the opposite direction, that kind of stuff.
And
but this is a good idea, though, about having a paper and pad, because if you can't take pictures or just mental notes, let's say you see a flower arrangement, you're like, oh, this is a great idea. I'd like to put it in my garden.
Right.
You can look to see what kind of shade there is, or is it getting full sunshine and stuff like that, because that's always a problem with us with our garden. We're trying to figure out our landscaping in general. It's like, oh, okay, sunshine, how much sunshine do we get and all that stuff. So that's good tips.
We're going to have a great landscaping show this weekend at the Indianapolis Museum of Art.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. That's going on this weekend, and we can find more information about that. Sherman's actually going to be out there as well, and I have not been out there.
Art and Nature Park. The Fairbanks Art and Nature Park. It's 100 acres where they have done a lot of native plantings, and there are all kinds of art installations that fit the grounds.
And kid-friendly?
It is.
It is, so kids
drag
can
your
go
kids out there. They'll love it.
Okay, I will do that. All right, again. All right, guys. Well, let's again, we can find more information on all the gardens that you can tour on Joe Ellen's website, and of course, we have a link set up to that at Fox59.com. All right, let's talk about